Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ice Cold Takes podcast. I'm your host, Joey DeMeglio. We are finally back. It's been quite a while since we've done an episode here. Last one was when the NHL came back from Olympic break. So a lot has happened. The trade deadline is come and gone. The Rangers didn't make as many moves as we thought they would, especially considering they sent out a letter saying that they were going to be trading some familiar players. Vincent Trocheck was not traded. Zibanejad was not traded. JT Miller is still on the team. The only trade that they really did make near the deadline was Sam Carrick was traded to Buffalo. They got a third-round pick out of that. So that was an okay trade considering, what the other centers were getting traded for, what other fourth-line players were getting traded for. It was a little underwhelming, but, I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about Alexis Lafreniere's recent heater, all right, and his comeback, so to speak. And as a result, Gabe Perreault and Mika Zibanejad have also been playing really well. I'll be honest, it's been really tough for me to watch games just because of everything I've had going on with my work schedule and whatnot. But I have been paying attention. Alexis Lafrenière has been on a tear over the last dozen or so games. He was named the first star of the week last week, the week ending March 15th. Lafrenière, this is from the NHL's website. Lafrenière led the NHL with 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points in 4 contests last week to bring the Rangers to a perfect week. Yeah, so the Rangers were winning some games. Still nowhere near close to a playoff spot. Don't worry if you're watching the tank, the Rangers are still in the running there. They are, according to Tankathon, fourth place, fourth to last in the league. So they still got to lose a couple more games. Yeah, the Vancouver is definitely getting first overall. They have 50 points. Everyone else is like between 63 and 65 points. So it's tight down there as well as it is for the playoff race. But the Rangers absolutely need to be picking a top 5 this year, top 3. That would be fantastic. But back to Lafrenière. He had a hat trick a couple weeks ago. Not this week, last week. He had a goal and an assist in a 6-2 win over the Flyers. His second hat trick against the Flames in a 4-0 victory on March 10th. Then a goal and an assist against the Winnipeg Jets. That was in Winnipeg on March 12th. And then he didn't score against the Wild on March 14th. In his last 11 games, Lafrenière has 9 goals and 6 assists for 15 points. So that's since January 31st. 44 points in 66 total games this season. He is up to 20 goals this year. As I was saying before, Lafrenière is also elevating the play of his line mates. So the Rangers have a pretty good first line right now. I mean, we're talking. We're not. I don't want to like freak out here and say like, oh my God, the Rangers got a future here. Yeah, they're going to win a Stanley Cup now. No. I don't want to freak out that much. I mean, it's pretty good, but in order to win a Stanley Cup, the Rangers need to be like world beaters. And I don't think the Rangers are anywhere close to being world beater right now. That line is playing really well, but let's look at the other lines in the league, maybe ones that include Nathan McKinnon or Nikita Kucherov or Jake Gensel or Sebastian Aho, if you want to throw him in the conversation. Maybe the guys on the Wild, maybe the young talent on San Jose. The Rangers just don't have enough to keep up with the rest of the league. It doesn't matter to me. So I'm just highlighting a positive here. Just me being optimistic D here. So Lafrenière for the season has 20 goals and 27 assists for 47 points. Kind of turning it around here towards the end. He's got we got 13 games left. 13 games left. And yeah, like if he keeps up this pace, yeah, maybe he'll have 50 points for sure. But I mean, is that all you're getting from your first overall pick? And yes, I am going to keep referring to him as the first overall pick. I know he's 24. You got to give you guys time to grow. This is his team now. There is nobody else in front of him. There are no excuses. This has to be it. Lafrenière has to be on first line power play. He's got to be playing first line 5-on-5 time. He's got to be the first guy out there in overtime as the left winger. This is his team. This is the guy, right? We've been complaining for years that he wasn't getting enough ice time. Well, now you're getting the ice time, and so far he's been producing. He's been doing really well. So if he can keep up the production, yes, definitely keep this guy around. If you want to swing big, we said this a couple of years ago, maybe you try for a big name guy like Brady Tkachuk. Although that ship has probably sailed by now. I'm not expecting a Brady Tkachuk to become available all of a sudden. Not really. So best bet, if you want a guy like Brady Tkachuk, you got to draft him yourself and you got to develop him. So maybe Lafrenière could be that guy. I don't know. I don't have that answer. But let's talk about the rest of that line. Mika Zibanejad. In the last 12 games, Zibanejad has 6 goals, 8 assists, 14 points, 4 even strength goals. All right. This has been a talking point for Zibanejad. 7 even strength points in those 12 games. Power play merchant. He does have 7 points on the power play. All right. So what do you get from this? Zibanejad's on the older side. All right. He's what you see is what you get. He's having a renaissance year. This season, Zibanejad is, let's see what his stats are. Let's check this overview. 66 points in 68 games. Having a nice season. You're going to crack 30 goals for the first time in a few seasons. This is good. If the Rangers just decide to trade him, then I think they could get some value back for him now, right? Because he's built it back up. That is, if he wants to waive his no trade clause or his no movement clause, whatever you want. I better get that right before the hockey journalists get mad at me. I better get that one right. It's his right. It's his right. Yes, no one is saying he doesn't have a right to do that. Anyways, Gabe Perreault, in his last 12 games, 4 goals, 8 assists, and 12 points. He's been killing it. 7 points. 9 even strength points. He was getting first line power play time while JT Miller was hurt. That's another conversation we got to have. Why is Gabe Perreault not playing first line minutes on the power play? Why is JT Miller slotted back in there? What is the point here, Mike Sullivan? What is the point here, Chris Drury? Are we going for a higher draft pick? This season is lost. Are we going for that, or are we just going to continue fitting a square peg into a round hole? Is that what we're doing here? I don't understand. The Rangers, I wrote this down here. The Rangers won't play the kids because they feel they aren't good enough to help them win. They're afraid they'll make mistakes. This is what it feels like. The Rangers won't play the kids because they feel they aren't good enough to help them win, because they're afraid they'll make mistakes, but they won't play them when they're trying to lose games because they're afraid they'll be too good. So make it make sense here. That I don't understand. Are we prioritizing development? We don't have a strong enough development staff here. I don't think Chris Drury is going to make any changes. I hope to God I'm wrong, because if he doesn't, then we're stuck here and we're not going to get any better for the foreseeable future. You got to build it from the ground up. The AHL team has nothing. The Rangers, as of right now, they really don't have that much aside from bottom 6 players. Like Hemelash is playing really well. It looks like Mike Sullivan really likes him right now. They don't have much though. They're still rolling out Taylor Radish and Connor Sheary for some reason. Those are 2 roster spots that they're taking up, and that's big for a team that's retooling. We want to tack that label onto the Rangers, the retool label. Why are you using those roster spots on guys that aren't going to be here for the foreseeable future? What is the point? We're beating a dead horse with this argument, but I'm glad that Zibanejad and Perreault are finding success. That is a good line. I mean, if they produce like that, if it's a second line, that's a good second line. On a Stanley Cup winning team, second line. You need your world beaters. All right. The Rangers need to get a top 3 pick in this year's draft. All right. So if they can get Gavin McKenna, let's look at it this way. They'll have McKenna, Lafrenière, and Cooley down the left side, which is pretty good. I'm still not looking at that as like, oh my God, this is sick. The Rangers are the new San Jose Sharks. Nope. Gotta need a lot more to prove there. The Rangers on the right side, they need some help. They have Gabe Perreault, who they're playing on there right now. They don't have anyone else after that. They got rid of Kako. They don't have their right wingers anymore. No more Buchnevich. That was years ago. They don't have right wingers. They need centers and right wingers. If you want me to feel confident about the team moving forward, get me a center, get me a right wing, and it's got to be like a good one. It can't be a middle six guy. Enough with these third line players. The Rangers pretty much have their entire team built out of middle six guys. Trocheck at this point is a third liner. Miller at this point is like a fourth liner, the way he's been playing. Cooley's a middle six guy. Perreault, I think he could be a solid second liner. Lafrenière, same kind of thing. If he reaches his first overall potential, yeah, he could be a first line guy. But other than that, the Rangers don't have anything. You need to fill in your lines accordingly. If you want to win a Stanley Cup, you can't just coast by on being just good enough. You need to be above and beyond good. So acquire those players and develop them. That's what it's going to take to take the next level. So even though the Rangers found success with that top line and won some games, I'm not sold on it. I think someone like Lafrenière could be the next guy. I think he could be, but we have seen far too often throughout his career inconsistency. And that's what we can summarize the Rangers have been over the past few seasons is inconsistent. So until that gets situated, I have a hard time believing like this is it. Oh, we got our guy finally. Finally, the Rangers develop a guy. It's not set in stone here. Perreault, I will say, is having a nice turnaround here. After going like the first few months, it seemed like he wasn't getting any points. He's got 20 points in 36 games. That's pretty good. It's like a half a point a game. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. You'd like to see a little bit more in the beginning, but I like that he's finding his stride now. A couple games ago in that game against Philly, he had this sick no look pass to Zibanejad, who buried it on the power play. I don't know why he's not still on the power play. I don't know. I don't know. Let's look at these chats. Man, there's a lot of bots here. There are a lot of bots. Oh my goodness. We're glad we were able to play Matt Robertson this year, so we know what we have. In all honesty, he's awful. He's just better than Vakanainen. Yeah, Vakanainen is not it. Robertson, he's trailed off a lot. I liked him in the very beginning of the season. He does make a lot of mistakes, though. I mean, for a 6th or 7th defenseman, he's not bad. Better than what we do have. If we pick 3rd or 4th, we have to trade Schneider because we'll draft either Veroff or Reed, both D-men. This is another conversation I want to get into. Defenseman. If the Rangers trade Adam Fox, yeah, try and get a defenseman. But if he stays, if you're planning to hold on to Fox, don't even bother picking. I don't want a defenseman. You need a forward. You need to build out the center and the right wing pipeline. Yeah. I had to ban somebody. Anyways, I don't want a defenseman. I want a center or a right winger. I don't want that. Goaltending, we got covered. Yeah. Let's sim this lottery. Okay, so the Rangers dropped 2 spots here. They're picking 6th overall. So as of right now, Gavin McKenna is projected to go 1st overall. Ivor Stenberg is projected to go 2nd. Keaton Veroff is going 3rd. Chase Reed is going 4th. Albert Smith is going 5th. Carson Carrolls is going 6th. And Ethan Belchitz, I think that's how you say his name. He's a left winger, going 7th. a lot of defensemen. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 defensemen in the top 6 there. I don't know how good these other players are. I would love to get my hands on McKenna or Stenberg, but the Rangers got to start tanking hard. So yeah, call up like all the young guys and just play them. Or you know what? Give Connor Sheary and Taylor Radish first line minutes. You know they're not gonna do anything. If you really want to lose, by all means, go ahead, do it. Put Brodzinski up there as well. And then you tank. The Rangers should have traded Braden Schneider. I don't know if you guys saw what defensemen were going for. Ridiculous what the prices were. We saw the Rasmus Anderson trade. I want to like pull up one of the other ones. I have to pull this up, the NHL trade tracker, because I was like losing my mind. It was like, why wouldn't the Rangers do this? Why wouldn't they trade? Why wouldn't they trade their players? Oh yeah, Brennan Othmann was traded for Jacob Battaglia. That's another guy that's probably not going to develop for the Rangers. Let's see. Justin Falk was traded for a first and a third, Justin Hall and a prospect. Who else? There was another big one. Logan Stanley and Luke Shen were traded for Isaac Rosen, Jacob Bryson, a second and a 4th round pick. John Carlson got traded for a conditional first in this year's draft, and a 3rd round pick. Yes, old man John Carlson. Let's see. I think there was another one here. Jeff P. Oh, okay, that was a 7th round pick. Never mind. I got ahead of myself. Mackenzie Weegar was traded for Oli Mata, Jonathan Castagna, and 3 second round picks in the 2026 NHL draft. 3. Tyler Myers was traded for a 2nd and a 4th. Myers sucks. Connor Murphy was traded for a 2nd round pick. Sam Girard. Oh God, no, then never mind. No. Where's the Rasmus Anderson one? That was a while ago. I know it was. Rasmus Anderson was traded for Zach Whitecloud, a defenseman, a 1st, and a 2nd. How the Rangers didn't trade what's it called? How they didn't trade Braden Schneider is beyond me. I don't know how you wouldn't look at all that and be like, geez, let me get my hands on all those assets. We need cap space and draft picks. What do you think Chris Drury does? Nothing. He sits on his hands and watches. I don't get it. I'm at a loss for words here, man. The Rangers next year should just screw signing veterans to league minimum contracts and just play as many young guys as they can. Like I said, what's the point of rolling out Radish and Sheary? Like, they're just taking away roster spots. Just put them there now, just so you could tank. You have 13 games left, lose them all. I mean, the NBA is implementing a rule to get rid of tanking. What's the NHL going to do? Nothing between now and the end of the season, that's for sure. So go ahead, tank it up, stink up the joint. Really. Just get me as much as you can. And if you do drop down in the draft and McKenna and Stenberg are gone, consider trading down. If defensemen are going to go after. Don't waste your pick. Don't reach like you did with Kravtsov, because that was freaking stupid. You could have traded down and got Kravtsov and got more picks for that. And you still would have screwed up. Because that's how the Rangers are. That's how they are in the development. Look at all these teams. I was looking at how the Rangers were playing against Columbus. They could not keep up against that team. That is a young, up-and-coming team. Montreal, they will not be able to skate with them. All of these young teams that are hungry and eager to get the taste of the playoffs for their first time, they all want it more. The Rangers are done like dinner. They have nothing. Time to move on. It's time to start over. We have to build it from the ground up, and it's got to be done the right way. You need to develop your AHL guys. You need to have a farm system. You need to sign. If you're going to go with free agents, you need to sign guys that that are proven to be good, not guys that were good once upon a time under the former coach. Not guys because you have a relationship with them and you think they will do well. You need actual NHL players, not Taylor Radish, not Connor Sheary, actual NHL caliber players. That's what they need. If you're going to fill out your bottom six with guys not going to use your own players, don't even bother. Just don't bother. Go ahead. Call up Berard. Call up McConnell, Barker, Sikora, all these guys. Let Rempe play, Edstrom play. Let them all play. Because what's the point? What do we have to lose? You're never going to see what you have. It's just like we were talking about earlier with Matthew Robertson. The Rangers gave him an opportunity to play, and he wasn't that bad. You really can't tell. There's no difference between him playing him and Patrick Nemeth, or him and playing. He's probably better than a Nemeth, or him and Carson Soucy. There is no difference. You're getting the same exact results for much cheaper and less aggravation. Robertson is definitely not the greatest player in the world, but he's not nearly as bad as those guys were that I mentioned. You need to do the same stuff, but with your younger players that are forwards. You need to do that. Enough with. I love Brodzinski. I have he has a good place in my heart. I like what he's brought. I like that he's a replacement player. I like that he's like a leader. Then the guys look up to him. I love his story, but it's time. You can't keep holding on to him for a roster spot when you have younger guys that are up and coming. You don't know what you got. Why did you draft them then? What are you holding on to them for? It's time to put your big boy pants on and get to work. We need to see what's going on here. Check under the hood. You give the keys to Lafrenière and you see what he does with it. Short sample, I know. You give the keys to Gabe Perreault and he thrives with it. It's a short sample, but it worked. Now you're playing Will Cooley in a role that's more familiar to him, middle six role. I still think he needs to be a third liner. He should not be playing on the second line, but the Rangers don't have a second line. Their second line right now is Cooley, Trocheck, and Sheary. That's not good enough. That's not a Stanley Cup winner. You need to find right wingers. You need to find centers. You don't have enough. You need another left winger. The Rangers are so barren prospect-wise. And I don't blame Drury for using his draft capital to push for those in those years that he traded. I just wish he would have went more aggressively. Because if he went more aggressively, maybe you keep one of those guys that you traded for that was in their mid-20s. And that's your future. Oh, I don't know. Jake Gensel comes to mind. Or, I don't know. Matthew Tkachuk comes to mind. Or, Jack Eichel. Or Brady Tkachuk even. Mangiapane, when he was good. Maybe him. But no, you could have stuck it. You had something with Vetrano. You really, really did. That could have been a thing. That could have worked. Because he's a solid goal scorer. I don't know how he's doing this year with Anaheim, but he had a couple good seasons there, and they extended him. Oh boy. Vetrano is having an awful season. I take back what I said. 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points in 44 games. You can't pass Veroff at 3 if that's our pick. Use whatever we can get for Schneider and our first from Carolina for forward depth. That's right. The Rangers also have a first rounder from Carolina, thanks to the Keandre Miller trade. We are the slowest team in the league, despite being the 5th youngest. I find it hard to believe that the Rangers are the 5th youngest because they're slow, number one, and number two, because I feel like they're not playing enough of their younger players. I feel like that's not what they have is not enough. Maybe that's because the young guys that they do have aren't like the premier players. It's the Robertsons and the Edstroms and the Rempes and the Perreaults that are bringing the average age down. I need those guys, like when the Rangers first went through their rebuild. I need that youth where it was you're filling out the entire team with young guys. And even when they did that, they still screwed it up because they refused to give their younger players the time. They refused to give Kako ice time. They refused to give Lafrenière ice time. And now look what's getting you. We're having arguments over whether this player is good enough to lead the team to the next step because they never had the opportunity to begin with. So give them the opportunities now. What do you have to lose? Like, what are you gaining from this? If you win a couple games, sure. Yes, fine. You're taking yourself out of draft position. But you will at least know what you have. Because if you hold on to guys for too long, you're gonna get nothing for them. Like Jacob Battaglia and Liam Greentree, those are guys I feel like could top out as second line guys. I don't see them as first line goal scorers. I'm sure they do well in their junior teams right now, but do you really think in like 10 years you're going to see like Liam Greentree first line scorer for the Rangers? I don't think so. I really doubt that. And I don't know. That's just like it's like fool's gold. Sure. Are they good prospects? Okay, yeah, but are they like Crosby-esque? Are they Rantanen-esque? Like, you know what I mean? Are they the world-beating type that wins Stanley Cups? I don't know. Those blue chip prospects, that's what the Rangers need to be on the hunt for. You got to build the farm up. They are in a very bad spot right now. I'm not going to lie to you. Not going to lie. I don't have a lot of hope, but they can turn it around if they draft well. If they acquire the right guys. I mean, it's not like they have nothing. I mean, they have some players. Like they still have EJ Emery, but we're not going crazy for Drew Fortescue. We're not going crazy for Emery. We're not going crazy for Nathan Aspinall or Liam Greentree or Jacob Battaglia. You know, we're not going nuts. We're not pissing in the streets, like partying, popping champagne for that. They have guys that can fill out a roster. I'm being blunt here and maybe a bit brutal, a little rough, but they're not guys that move the needle for me. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for prospects and future players that are going to move the needle. And until the Rangers acquire more of that, I'm not going to be optimistic. So I hope Lafrenière and Perreault and Zibanejad keep up the pace that they're at. It's a good line. It's not a first line. It's not like selling me on the fact like, okay, yeah, this is going to be the future Stanley Cup winning line that the Rangers have. Yay. No, this is a second line. This is what a Stanley Cup winning team has this as their second line. So you need to find the guy that's better than this second line. And that is going to be tough because the Rangers have yet to do that in all my time watching them. In 16 years of watching Rangers hockey, they have yet to do that. So there have been people, far more people older than me that have watched this team for far longer, and they've done the same thing. They haven't had that since like Messier. Even him, they acquired him through a trade. They didn't make him. They need to make their players, not buy them. That's how they'll win the Stanley Cup. Not only that, that's how they'll be successful for a long time. You can't just keep relying on the goalie forever. I know they tried it with Lundqvist and it worked, but they didn't win a cup. I want a cup. I'm tired of this waiting nonsense. I want a cup. Anyways, I'm done rambling. I gotta go. It's nice out. Yeah, BC season ended last night. We should be getting Fortescue signed soon. Yes, I heard about that. Anyways, I gotta go. It's nice out. I'm gonna go touch some grass. I hope all of you guys enjoyed this episode and you guys go touch some grass. If you did enjoy this episode, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more Rangers news. I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.